What's up, everybody? It is I, Sigma, and we are back with episode 11 of the BBET GamesCast. I am joined by Superman Jeff,
Hey.
as well as Blue Bones.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy.
And as we do every single week, as we've done, we're going to start with what we've been playing. Jeff, Blue, anybody want to take it?
I'll go. So the new hero recently came out for the hero for Smash Bros.
Right? Yeah.
So for like the last 2 days, that's what I've been playing. I think it came out at 9 p.m. that day. I downloaded it at 9 p.m.
I remember you messaging us about that.
And played for like 2 hours, and then I've been taking it handheld with me, playing on my break and stuff like that.
So what do you think of him?
I think he's pretty good. He's very fun to play. He's very fun to play. High risk, high reward type situations. And it's like a gamble sometimes on the moves. Mm-hmm. So you kind of, it kind of evens it out. His MP gauge is pretty interesting as well. It kind of reminds me of Robin's.
Robin doesn't have like a gauge though, right? But
it's a durability.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay. So do you show you the durability of the spell book or whatever now?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought they did that.
It's very small.
Probably in this iteration, because I don't play with Robin, but I know they didn't have anything like that in 4. So they've been adding all sorts of gauges in this go round, so that makes sense that they would do that for Robin.
Yeah, you might so kind of if his magic power is gone when he uses up B, it doesn't go very high at all.
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah, so it kind of,
So so the risk of you using all these magic powers is you kind of having your recovery stunted at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, that is pretty like gauge man, and I feel like I watched his video on like how his moveset. You can refill it by just using normal attacks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so as long as you mix it up, you should be okay.
It refills as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cool thing about him is his smash attacks have a chance to crit, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that seems a little unfair, honestly. Because it's not like other characters where if you get the spacing right, like you do like a tipper or you do like the middle, you get the extra. Yeah, it's just random. And like when you introduce randomness into like competitive type games, like people don't usually.
It's scary.
Think about that, yeah. But it's like think about like Little Max. Little Max, his tank armor, like it goes through a lot of stuff, and
but it's not random.
Kind of standardized.
Yeah, like
isn't that a crit?
It's not critical, no.
When he does that little cutscene, no.
Are you talking about his KO punch?
No, like if when like a few times I fought him, like you'll hit him and it'll not like a cutscene, but like a little short, like kind of like clip where he's overpowering through your attack and hitting you with his.
You talking about the slip?
The slip? I'm confused. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
The slip is his counter.
No, not the slip.
Oh, no. That thing has a name and it's the slip because that's actually kind of dope.
Weird name.
That's a boxing.
Yeah, it's a boxing term when you're like weaving and dodging and such.
But it's just, I guess it says tank armor or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. Like if on all of his smash attacks, he has like heavy he doesn't have invulnerability, but he has tank armor. Mm-hmm. So if you can see him charging up a smash attack, you just don't kind of want to compete with it, or get out of the way of it. So like that's standard. But Robin is like, oh, if I were to get smash attacked here, like say I got my shield broken, I'm at 40-50%. A smash attack here probably won't kill me, except it does because that was a crit.
Yeah.
It's a chance. We don't know what that chance is, but we know it's a chance.
It's like
a lot of gambling
going on. 1 in 10 or something. But in fact, when you think about it that way, Game & Watch also has like that 9 thing.
Oh, the magnitude move.
But that's evened out because when it's low magnitude, it's not like a regular attack. You know?
The damage is lower.
Yeah, so it's like he's rolling the dice on whether it's going to be effective at all versus whether it's just going to be extra effective, you know? So that's why that, to me, seems a little unfair. But we're getting into the weeds on just the hero specifically. But I didn't actually get a chance to play with him yet. Blue, did you?
Yeah, I actually spent a little bit of time on it. I like it. The hero's fun. But just kind of like what you're saying, there's a lot of randomness involved. The down B is opening up the whole spell book, which there's some really cool stuff in there. And there's so many different iterations of everything. So on top of that, we talked about the crit chance, and then I don't know, like his neutral B is just charging up that fireball.
Yeah.
That fireball hits so dang hard. It's ridiculous. And then you have his side B, right? If you just tap it, it's like a projectile spark. But if you press and hold it, it does this whole like Pikachu Thunderbolt thing with the Link spin at the same time. It's pretty crazy. And I do like the MP gauge that it kind of powers down the godly powers. You know what I mean? Like it's reminiscent of the ink gauge for Inkling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like Hero. You might see me play Hero on Super Smash Sunday.
Yeah, you're gonna see me play him. That's
what
I figured Jeff was gonna try to bring him.
I'm bringing him in
to the ring, would it not?
I'm not gonna do it no more.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
But other than Smash, was that what you've been playing this week?
Some more Ultimate Alliance. Oh no, actually Monster Hunter War. I've been playing a little bit of that.
Okay. We all have.
The stream last week did not go well for that though. Let's just say. So we went in against a Tempered Monster. It was me and another guy, Tempered Nerd Gigante. No, Kushala Daora. Yeah. So we weren't going bad. Nobody got carded or anything like that, and then we just left.
With the other player?
Yeah. So then it was just me versus him, and it was just taking too long. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go do something else. So I actually tried out an art tempered Valhazar. I didn't do too bad. Besides
art tempered?
Yeah, because that's the red color,
yeah,
right? Yeah, didn't do too bad because I farmed the Valhazar so much, where I just knew all his move types. Like I farmed them like ridiculous amounts. Like, cause mind you, I have the great sword. I was farming for the hammer. I have all his gear, so I farmed him a lot. He didn't hit super hard, but the move that always did KO you was that
like beam of mist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that and I have the full gear on, but I was still taking like that dot
fluvial damage. Yeah, I noticed that too. Because I recently fought like a regular Valhazar because I was trying to get something that I can't even remember right now. But I was fighting it recently, and I spec'd with the decorations or whatever to give you complete resistance to the buildup, but I was still taking damage. But it wasn't consistent. Like sometimes I wouldn't be, and then other times I would, and I couldn't figure out. I feel like maybe something's wrong there, or they just changed the way it works. But it's really confusing because it says it prevents the buildup entirely, and it just doesn't.
Yeah, because I remember that where I didn't take any damage because of the gear, but now it was just like it wasn't terrible, but it was like tick, tick, tick. But I mean that was fun. So right now I'm gonna go and take your advice. I'm gonna go fight just the tempered monsters before I move up to the tempered Elder Dragons and kind of fight those with a team because it just takes a while otherwise.
True.
So I'm gonna fight like I think like tempered Pookie and stuff like that.
All right, makes sense.
And that's what I've been playing.
All right.
Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Next, or?
I'll do it to it. Overwatch finally got that last Reinhardt skin that they were doing for the summer event.
I really forgot to go back and do any of the summer event stuff.
So yeah, I've been rocking that Overwatch. Got my 9 wins for the week, and I had so much other things to do. I kind of signed off. Final Fantasy 14, going through the raids, doing that endgame raids. Those things are really fun, and I'm learning a lot. Working with this one guy I've been tanking with for a while now. We're learning a lot of really good mechanics, tank swapping, and just overall support when other people fall down. We're kind of covering areas. So we're getting into some high meta level techniques into that I'm pretty excited about. Monster Hunter World, I'm finally catching up. When you guys are talking about tempered this and that, I'm like, okay, I did fight him once. I know this Elder Dragon. I kind of remember that name. I got nicknames for all the dang monsters because most of the time they don't have a name that is gonna stick with me. You know what I mean?
Easily pronounceable.
He
Yeah.
was watching on the stream. He was like, "Who's that? Who the hell is that?"
I was like, "What the heck?" Yeah. And so, luckily the other day, Sigma helped me get through near Gigante and
Teostra.
That one, the Fire Lion. Entei.
Entei.
Entei. And the lightning dragon.
Oh, the
Zapdos.
Kirin.
No, we
No,
didn't
the
do.
lightning. Oh, Kushala. Wait,
Yeah,
no, that's
that one.
not. He's not lightning. He's
Oh,
wind though.
or wind. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
like the
So we'll go
steel
with.
wind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's the one. So anyway, we got through it, and I didn't get completely carried. I feel like I held my own in every fight, and I put down damage. All right.
Okay.
So that was cool. I'm looking forward to catching up and getting ready for Iceborne. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, Smash. Okay, so I've been putting a little bit of personal time on Smash this week.
Finally.
I
So
noticed. I saw one that Blue was in like an hour ago.
yeah. So hopefully I have some surprises for you guys this Sunday. We'll see. I'm still workshopping some stuff. And last but not least, picked up a new game on the phone. You know, I'm on my mobile games. The Gunplay Warfare Gundam Battle.
Oh, I saw you posting about that.
Bro,
What is that?
it's a super cool game. It's so basically it's about people who build Gundam models,
Uh-huh.
right? But essentially when you're fighting and stuff like that, it's the same as the Gundam. It's just on a
So it's like
Build your own
pretend.
Gundam?
It's like their imagination when they play with Gundams or something.
no, like supposedly there's technology that like gets your models to actually like come alive and fight in this like miniature field. So
Okay.
when you're playing, you know, you're just behind the Gundam. It's just like a another mech game, but it's based off of the Gundam series, and you have from different, different stories from the Gundam line. So it's pretty cool to mix and match different pieces. Like you can have the head of Zero and the wings of oh crap, what's his name? Death Scythe, and you can
That's
change up
cool.
every little aspect. It's kind of like Custom Robo,
Yeah, I
like
remember
was
Custom
back in
Robo.
the day. Yeah,
Custom Robo
So,
left a little to be desired, but I love the concept. I want them to bring it back and make it better.
I
make it
liked Custom Robo
make it
on
like
the
G-Force.
3DS.
Wasn't that what it was?
Make it like
GeForce.
oh, Gotcha Force. That's what you're
Gotcha.
talking about, right?
Oh,
Yeah, that old Capcom GameCube game. I love
he
that game
said
so much.
GeForce. I was thinking about that movie with the hamsters back in the day. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been playing recently.
Okay. I have spent a ton of time back in Monster Hunter World.
Yes.
I didn't get no invites.
Yes, you did. You just didn't show
You
up.
did,
That's what
actually.
happened.
I
Oh, I
invited
was
you
joking.
too.
When I said send an invite, I was at work. I just
But
I sent
anyway,
I wanted to be included.
Sorry, Sigma, go ahead, bro.
anyhow, but yeah, mostly it's just been grinding. I did a stupid mistake. You're supposed to get like as you fight these tempered monsters and tempered elder dragons, you get these things called stream stones that you can use to do augments on your armor, which really all augments are is you add additional stats. Or for armor, for example, you add the ability to continue improving the armor because once it reaches a cap, your armor is locked at say 72 is the defense number. You can unlock it with these stream stones, and then you can raise it all the way up to like 86 or something. And of course, as these monsters get harder, you need more defense. So I was saving one because they're super hard to get. I had a gleaming stream stones, like a special stream stone. I thought with the melding pot, which is the thing that lets you throw a bunch of items you don't use
No.
into it to then get new items. I thought I was doing that to get a gleaming streamstone. Nope, they were using a gleaming streamstone to give me the items that I thought I was throwing away. So, real upset about that.
Yeah, I was on the mic when you did that. I was like, oh, I don't understand everything, but that
it
sounds
was just
devastating.
confusing enough to get me excited enough to not pay enough attention. So, that sucks. But other than that, I've still been enjoying a whole lot of Monster Hunter World. But I did for Escapist complete another review in a couple of days. It was called The Church in the Darkness.
Yeah.
It's a stealth game. So think of Metal Gear Solid, like original Metal Gear Solid, right? Where you kind of have this above the head view, and you can see vision cones, except not on the map. You hold the button and you see it like on the character who's walking around.
Yeah.
So the gameplay is it's old school in that vein, but it's still fun to like kind of weave around the cones, hide around corners and stuff. You can use all these items that you find around the area to like, you can throw rocks to like pull people's attention. You can put an alarm clock someplace to make people go there. You can wear disguises. So mixing up all that stuff is cool and interesting. But the thing that really let it stand apart is the fact that it's based on, like, it's not like one for one, but it's heavily inspired by the events of the Jonestown Massacre of the 70s. Like, if you remember the People's Temple, and Jim Jones, he was a cult leader who moved a ton of people from California to South America. Yeah. And then as they were facing increased scrutiny from the U.S. government, you know, families and stuff wanted their kin back.
Yeah.
Some FBI, like a delegation of representatives, with a congressman, went over there to kind of just do a wellness check to see how everyone was doing. And a couple of people wanted to leave with him. Jim Jones sent people to basically murder those people. And then, and then as a result of that, he's like, okay, they're coming to get us. He forced the rest of the congregation to basically drink poisoned Kool-Aid and stuff. And tons of people died. So the story is in that vein. So it's not telling that specific instance, but there are a number of different endings you can get based on how you play in the thing. Because there are two cult leaders, and there's your nephew who you're trying to get out. So you can talk to your nephew. Sometimes your nephew will be like, oh yeah, I got to get out of here. I'll follow you. Or sometimes he'll be like, no, you don't understand. Go talk to them. They're really good people. And you can actually go and talk to them if you can get through all their security and stuff. You can reach them. You'll have a conversation. And sometimes, like, one ending I got was I found the male preacher, Isaac, and he was like, you don't understand what we're doing here. Let me show you. And I was like, okay. And then there was an ending where I literally joined the cult. Yeah. And it was like a happy ending, too. Like, it wasn't, like, the ending didn't seem like we ended up all dying. It was like, no, it was a happy end.
They took care of you.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have to be the same as the Jonestown Massacre, but there are definitely endings in there that are that dark.
Oof.
So it was really interesting. I was really excited to go back in and see what was new, what endings I could get, because based on how many people you kill, you know, who you talk to, what other church members you help and stuff, you end up with these different endings. So the replayability was there and the gameplay stayed fun. So I really actually enjoyed it a lot. But that was pretty much it. Yeah, in terms of what I was playing.
That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, check it out if you can. It's on Steam. I want to say it's like $20, but I don't actually remember. Matter of fact, it's not on just Steam. It's on all consoles. I think it's also coming to Xbox and PlayStation and Switch and stuff. So
I might check it out on the Switch too.
Yeah, Switch is probably a good place for it. But that's it for what we've been playing. We're going to move now into our topics. First on the list, we just got some cover art for the new Black Panther movie. The subtitle is Two Kings. And it's got the trident kind of signaling the arrival of Namor. And we know that's a big story event in the Black Panther universe. Jeff, you're super big into comics. What's your take on them adapting that storyline for the
Educate us.
For me, Namor was originally introduced into the Fantastic Four, the cartoon series. He wanted to marry Sue Richards. You know, he kidnapped her, took her to Atlantis, and you had Johnny and them going to get her out. He's actually part of the Illuminati, which are the most powerful, super beings in the Marvel universe. That type of situation. He's reminiscent of Aquaman.
Yeah,
right.
He's super strong,
but fast. He's not a good guy though. Or is he like gray?
He's been good and he's been bad.
Okay, so he flip-flop.
Yeah. He's been good and he's been bad. He's actually worked with Thanos and his Black Order sometimes. He's fought against him sometimes. He can fly. He's super strong.
He's a water thing, but he can fly?
He has wings on his feet.
Okay.
Like Hermes?
Yeah.
I did see some art like that. Now that you mention it, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and he's actually the king of Atlantis. So I'm thinking this storyline is going to be pretty interesting. I'm thinking it's going to, because if you remember, they mentioned that there was an earthquake in Africa.
They did.
Underwater.
Mm-hmm. So they foreshadowed this. So
yeah, they were setting it up. So I'm thinking it's going to be like in a whole, Atlantis versus
Wakanda
type situation where our king versus your king type deal. I think it'd be very interesting. Yeah. I'm interested to see their take on Atlantis versus DC's take on Atlantis.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool to see. Because I did actually like the look of Atlantis in Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
So Marvel not wanting to be outdone, I'm interested to see what they do.
Yo, I feel like they're gonna kill it, man. Like honestly,
Interesting.
I don't know if it's gonna be better, but I feel like what they do is gonna be really good. You know what I mean? Just like you said, DC Atlantis was great. I actually really like that movie, and I don't like DC movies in general. And I really like that one. But yeah, going back to Marvel and Namor, I don't know too much about him. But after I was doing a little bit of research, he seems like a pretty cool antagonist. I don't even want to call him a villain. I'll just say antagonist, you know?
He's never been like a straight villain. He's always been more of in that gray area where he's only done things kind of like
for the good of the realm.
For the good of the realm, for what he wanted, not really much so to hurt other people or do anything like that, but it's always been for what's best for his kingdom.
He's just kind of selfish about it. In
a way. Exactly.
Kind of like old Wakanda.
Yeah, a lot like pretty much. So so seeing those competing ideas, because in the Marvel universe, in that sense, they're both kind of mythical.
Yep.
Like lost locations.
Super advanced civilizations.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see them butt heads. I followed the Comic Historian. I guess that's the name of the channel on YouTube.
Oh, you did check it out? Yeah.
Yeah. So a while back, I was like doing a whole lot of like Black Panther reading via his explanation videos, and they never went into this situation with Wakanda and Atlantis, but they referenced it a ton because there's a big event where Namor like floods all of Wakanda, and then like all this other stuff happens as a result of it. So I'm wondering if they're gonna show. I wonder if they're gonna focus more on, say, some of the stuff that I've seen that happens after some kind of a conflict with them, or if they're gonna talk about the conflict itself. So I'm interested to see what the trailers look like, and really just to see the movie in general, because like I'm a huge Black Panther fan, if you guys didn't know. And there's also rumors of Michael B. Jordan coming back somehow. I don't know if it's going to be in flashbacks or he'll actually be resurrected in some way. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't like that.
But
his death was important.
His death was important. So, it would be messed up if they kind of undo that.
They're like, psych.
I don't know. I feel like Ryan Coogler he's a really good director. I feel like he wouldn't stand for that kind of nonsense. And Marvel's been pretty good about not trivializing their characters and their stories so far. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
true. When it comes to this conflict, right? Like I said, I don't know too much about it, but Wakanda, Atlantis. Who's gonna help Wakanda if they need it? You know what I mean? It's not like they're gonna be like, "Hey, United States, we need you." Like,
well, the Avengers at this point,
kind of making Wakanda's whole situation their own. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they've done good without. I guess when you start introducing other people into Wakanda, it starts to kind of take the focus away from, I would say, Wakanda and Black Panther. Because if you notice in the comic book, sometimes, you get help from the Avengers. But then it made it more about the Avengers than it did about actual Wakanda defending themselves or whatever it was. So I'm thinking they're not going to really bring anybody in.
And it would make sense story-wise because they've been very insular up to that point anyway. So them immediately just running elsewhere to get help probably...
Well, I don't think it's going to be like immediate, you know what I mean? There's going to be something where they have to reach out to somebody else because I feel like at this point in the timeline, you're going to see somebody from the Avengers actually active in this movie. You know what I mean? I feel like you're going to see maybe Captain America or not Captain America. What's Black Widow? I think she's going to show up.
Well, she's off doing her movie, so her movie might be taking place around the same time.
Wait, when is this set? This is after the events. This is after the events of Endgame, right?
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't see a couple of people.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Oh wait, hold on. You're right.
I know what you're saying.
I would have thought that Winter Soldier would be the one to show up in Wakanda, but he's actually left now. You know, he's with the new Captain America. You know, so
yeah, that makes sense.
So other than him, I don't really see who else would really just be over there unless they specifically was like, "Hey, come over here." And I don't feel like they would really want to do that unless things got super, super dire.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. One other thing I do want to see: a resurrection of Vision, because I want to see it. I want to see it because they downloaded his info right before Thanos popped him up. You know what I'm saying? He's in the Wakanda cloud somewhere, and they need to download him and put him into a black body, and he's gonna be fire. I think he's gonna be the pivotal point. Mark my words.
Vision. I mean, I don't know too much about Vision in comics, but what they've done with Vision in the Marvel movies is completely boring. Like, he seems very, very powerful, but they don't utilize him, and he's like, he doesn't have a great background. Like, I know where he came from as far as the movie talks about, but like, he's just uninteresting. Like, it would be like the Superman effect where you just call in this guy to come solve your problem. There's no real struggle. There's no character development. There's nothing. Like,
no, he got washed up in
Endgame. Yeah, like, bye. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
It's like,
but that's pretty much gonna do it for Black Panther. We're gonna move on into video game stuff. Here's a topic that was brought up by Blue.
Did I do this?
Yeah, you suggested this one. No Man's Sky Beyond is launching August 14th.
Yeah.
What is it about No Man's Sky that has captured your attention?
They're trying again, and I didn't like how the first one rolled out. I don't think a lot of people did. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people did. Supposedly the game improved later on, and a lot of people, come back, it's awesome. Didn't really hold my attention. But the fact that they're making a sequel and there's some kind of budget, someone believes in them.
This is an actual sequel. It's not like a big update.
Well, yeah, and they said they got. You're right. It's a big update. Yeah, it's not actually a sequel. It's a update. 3 major updates is what they're reporting right now, and the first one is a new approach to multiplayer. That's what they say. So we know that multiplayer for No Man's Sky is their problem from the get-go, right? The claims that there, the truth that it wasn't, and then supposedly there is it now, but it's not amazing. So they're trying to do it right. The second is VR support. Now, with the game that looks like this, and I don't feel like the gameplay is too demanding, I think the VR support is probably a good idea, and it might work better for this game than other games that have been flaunting VR support. The last update, there's no information on it yet. It's supposed to be game-changing. It's supposed to be amazing. But we're just going to have to wait and see.
So they didn't give you any idea as to what this third thing is?
Not even a clue. And that's... I mean, so far, I think this update is good. It looks promising, just because of what they're releasing. They're not saying too much about like, oh, it's gonna be, the best game ever and all this kind of stuff like they said before. They're really modest with their claims, and
I don't think they ever. Here's my issue with Sean Murray and No Man's Sky and stuff, right? When they first showed their game on PlayStation's stage and people went, oh my god, wow, this is amazing, I don't really know what you do in this game. And I feel like a lot of fans, a lot of the media even, kind of assigned all of this expectation to the game. And then what Sean Murray did was not downplay any of it.
Yeah, he just rolled with it.
People thought that you could do these things in the game, and he just wanted to play coy and be like, well, maybe, perhaps, maybe you'll see somebody in space. Who knows? Like, stuff like that. So people are all excited. They're building up this whole game in their head. And at no point did I even understand what you did in No Man's Sky for a very long time. I was not really into that whole thing. So, so honestly, it's kind of a mix of the expectation versus the reality kind of coming to a head, So when they caught all this backlash, I kind of felt sorry for the devs a little bit. But honestly, it was on both sides. Like,
he lied. He straight up lied.
Sort of, but also it was the pressure of expectation.
Okay, just be honest with people, then they won't get mad at you. Like, I get it. You know, oh, people want this game to be bigger than it actually is. But what's worse? You know what I mean? Lying to folks and then they find out that it sucks, or telling them, you know, straight up, hey, you know what? It's not as great as you think, but we're working to get it there. That's all he could have said.
But either way, when they did start doing the updates that made people start saying, okay, this game is better, it's getting
that was
back
way
towards
too late.
But I mean, people still came back to it. They've been forgiven, kind of, in terms of the player base. I've still never cared about that game. Like when all the promises and stuff do actually come into fruition, that game still sounds like something I do not give a damn about. So I've just
It reminds me of that was that outer space or outer something that's coming out from it was announced at E3 from Bethesda.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But see, in that game, I actually see what I'm doing. It has space exploration and stuff like that too. But it's like space exploration with like a Borderlands types, you know.
Yeah.
Do you mean Outer Worlds?
Yes, Outer Worlds. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's not Bethesda. That's Obsidian.
Oh, that was Obsidian. Okay.
Yeah, because they did Fallout New Vegas.
Ah,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so it's kind of the same thing, you know, planet traversal. But you kind of see what you're doing. It was the same thing with No Man's Sky. I just saw you go on these planet, you get these materials, and you have a chance of. There's a very small chance of seeing people because the universe is so big, and I'm like, yeah, no, okay, no, I'm okay. No. It's like It's like Farm Simulator on different planets. And
that's really kind of what it is. It's kind of like a very like somber, insular, like chill vibe type of thing. Like I'm not really into that as a gameplay concept to just hang out in that virtual world.
Modest work.
But I mean, to each their own. That's what they're into. They're gonna get I guess some more exciting new stuff to do in that sometime in August.
Hey, good stuff.
Power to the
Blue,
players.
did you have it, Blue?
No, I did not. I was interested because when I saw the game initially, I was like, "Oh, it looks kind of cool." And then I heard all the bogus reports. I was never chomping at the bit to get this game, but I was always interested on what you do, what the gameplay experiences was, and what people loved about it. I haven't had the time to pick it up and actually put that attention to it. But then when I saw this update, I was like, okay, maybe this might spur me on to actually take the step and take a shot with it. So that's where my interest lies on this game.
Yeah, if you do check it out, definitely report
I'll definitely
back.
let y'all know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
But speaking of new things, Nintendo introduces new free trial periods for Switch Online users. First game that they're introducing this with is Super Mario Tennis Aces, which is actually a really great multiplayer game that benefits from the online service, and it's been pretty dead. So if there are a bunch of people trying it out for 2 weeks, I feel like they'll probably actually have a lot of fun going online and playing against each other.
I remember you looking for like online matches, and it's like, nope.
Yeah, like just nothing.
I remember playing that game on Virtual Boy. It was the first time I played a Mario Tennis game.
That was the first one, yeah.
And it was fun. And a new one looks interesting watching you and Starboy play it. With the special moves and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
Difficult.
It's pretty deep. Yeah, like if you're thinking about playing Super Mario Tennis Aces, Nintendo is following suit with companies like Sony and Microsoft finally, and using some of their first-party games as promo material to get you to subscribe to their online service, because Nintendo notoriously suck at internet. We all know this. But their $20 internet service.
The game is free, or is it just a trial for the game?
You have to have the online subscription.
And if you do, the game's free.
No, well, it's free for you to try, so you can download the whole game.
Gotcha.
And for I believe the period is 2 weeks. You can just play it.
Oh, okay. So
but while it's in the trial period, it's actually discounted. I think 30 or 33% or something. 33%.
Oh, okay.
Take a
and first-party Nintendo games almost never get discounted, so that is also significant. So if you were thinking about it, this is probably the best chance to actually do it, but only if you're subscribed to the online service already, which this might actually get you to do it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I might check that out.
Because Mario Tennis was one of the only games I bought the physical copy of, and now they got the discount for this for this game now. But just like you said before, it's cool. It's a fun game. It's deep. But speaking of Nintendo specifically and the action that they're taking, I just think that Nintendo's tired of being at the kids' table. They're starting to step up. They're like, okay, let's do what the big dogs do.
You think?
I think so. I think just it's baby steps. You know what I'm saying? But their voice is cracking a little bit. They starting to grow up.
I mean, I sincerely hope so.
Yeah, they're trying some new things, which is, Nintendo's been stuck in their ways for a very long time. So it's good to kind of see them try what they see works for other companies that
exactly.
It is really like just dipping a toe in the water.
Yeah.
They could be doing so much more. People have been saying for years now, why don't you have a Game Pass-like service where literally you don't even have to use your entire Nintendo catalog or current catalog. You could just put SNES games on there, and that would be a big boon.
Just SNES
Just the SNES catalog by itself would be a huge get for anybody potentially signing up for the Nintendo service.
I would love that.
Yeah,
how much I would love to take on. Well, we're going to talk about our most challenging games later, but yeah, we'll talk about certain games that I'd love to go back to.
Right, just the access to that, arguably the best catalog of games ever.
Yeah,
Nintendo just has under lock and key, and they refuse to use that as a selling point for a subscription service. Like the Switch has sold tons, but I don't know how much the online service has sold because most folks probably don't care enough about going online on their Switch to do it. But if they get the SNES catalog at the tip of their fingers to take with them anywhere, come on, that's a done deal.
Super Mario World alone is too fun. Too much fun to play on the go. Are you kidding me?
If that's one of your most challenging games, though, I'm going to laugh at you.
No, it's not. It's not. I thought about... Anyway, yeah, it's not.
Let's not pretend that Super Mario World is not a challenging game, though.
No,
it's not.
It's a challenging game. It's not the most challenging game.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are underestimating Super Mario World. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Because you don't just beat Super Mario World. You have to unlock everything in it, and that is difficult. But,
is it?
Yes.
I've done it. Hold on. No. That's a perfectionist qualifier.
A Mario expert.
My son is a Mario expert, so he knows.
If I get to the end of the game and it rolls credits, I beat the game.
I'm like that for certain games.
Yeah.
If you don't go through Star Road to get to the credits, then you haven't beat Super Mario World. That's how I feel.
Oh, he told you.
Ooh, I like Star Road. I've been there.
So, I mean, any other thoughts on Nintendo kind of finally moving more so into the 21st century?
I would just encourage them to continue.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, not really much else to say about that other than good on Nintendo for finally doing something good.
And I feel like they could be taken more seriously if they continue to make these steps.
Nintendo could very easily just be the dominant console as opposed to everybody's second console.
Yeah.
If they would just kind of get with the program in some regards. But,
yeah,
I mean, they know better than us. They've been doing this stuff for like 30 years.
They getting paid. They ain't really stressed.
Now. Yeah, So, off of Nintendo, we're going to move into another aging institution in the video game world, GameStop. Recently, they've laid off dozens of regional managers. Recently,
I think it was
20 or so regional managers. And we heard earlier that they were also trying to pivot their store concept. Like, it's not moving away from being retail to be more of some kind of a social hub.
Mm-hmm.
So this seems to be part of that process. Like, they're trying to save some money or move some money to kind of aid in restructuring.
Rebranding.
Yeah. So this had to have been expected, right? Like, what do you guys...
Yeah, I mean, it's been some time coming. I mean, if you think about it, they made the move to kind of bring some of their online catalog of the stuff, the Power Up Rewards.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those geekdom kind of accessories. They kind of brought them into the store to kind of get people to come in and get these things. I think that was a good move. That's something I think they should have did in the beginning.
Yeah, just had a lot of gaming related paraphernalia and
stuff like that.
I don't think that's fair.
I think it is.
I mean,
fair.
back in the day,
you have a leg to stand on with that. Back in the day,
you didn't have so much digital stores back in the day. You know what I mean? You actually had to go to the store to pick up the physical copy, and there's people there. There's that community. They didn't need to sell shirts at that point. They didn't have to entice you to get in there.
Just because they didn't need to doesn't mean they didn't add extra revenue to the store. I mean, because think about it. We can get t-shirts now almost anywhere.
Okay.
So the time you're thinking about before the digital age, we couldn't get t-shirts from anywhere. Like, oh, look at that. That's a Super Mario t-shirt. Or, look at that statue. That's a Vegeta statue. Can you imagine seeing that stuff in there as a kid? Let's go to GameStop. I want to go to GameStop. Not even really just to get the game.
They had hobby shops back then. They had more hobby shops.
My argument against that is when, before the rise of digital and stuff, video game stuff also wasn't as mainstream as it is today. So yeah, we were like going to the stores to get all our stuff because we love to play video games, but the greater culture did not want to walk around with a Super Mario t-shirt on or whatnot. So like they probably, even the people who were going into stores and like, buying some of the most popular games in the world today, like Madden or Halo or whatnot, weren't going to run around and wear video game clothes or buy video game trinkets, They just wanted the game. They were going to go home and play. So it probably wasn't a fruitful revenue stream at that point. But today, geek culture rules the world. So of course you're going to fill your store with all sorts of extra stuff for people to do. And they were kind of late in kind of adopting that, I feel like. But now
that's the point.
Yeah, so now they want to try and rebrand and restructure. They tried to sell the whole thing off, and nobody would buy it. Remember that? So like they're kind of left with no option at this point.
I mean, yeah, I feel like at one point, they forgot. It's a business. I'll give them. It's a business. You're trying to make the money. That's what you're there for. That's number one objective. But I feel like number two should have been to actually build that gaming community. And I think if that was anywhere on their list, they forgot it for a while.
So we know what they want to do now. It's something that we all agree is a good idea. Is there anything else that exists like that? Like, who is their competition? Like
their competition
a chain
are these
location where
barcades.
Right. Yeah, so those are kind of mom and pop type institutions, right?
Yeah, and those aren't even doing as really. I mean, arcades are far and in between now. I mean, you go there, might be an arcade there. Before
he didn't say
all over
he didn't
the place.
say arcade.
Not arcade.
He said a
barcade.
barcade. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, because it's actually
Dave and
actually
Buster's
pretty.
like.
Yeah.
Well, not even like Dave and Buster's, because Dave and Buster's is like an arcade.
That's like a Chuck
restaurant.
E. Cheese.
Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of like an adult Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
But like there's a spot that's actually really close to me called The Break. And they hold weekly Smash tournaments. They have all that stuff in there. They have good food. They have liquor and stuff. So they have a community. Like every single week, they're streaming Smash tournaments. And like this region is actually pretty strong in terms of like Smash players. There was a major held just down the street from me. And a lot of those guys live in the area and like go there and play sometimes. So GameStop kind of being and the thing is, they're losing a bunch of their locations, but they still have a good number of locations spread out across the country. If that were to become more of a central place for more people to show up and do that kind of thing, that sounds like a really good idea to me. But it may also eat into the existing ecosystem of barcades like The Break, for example.
Yeah, we got a place out here called Battle and Brew, right? Which is and we had a big meetup out here a while back, and it was a super cool place to meet up for a whole bunch of people. I think the most difficult thing that this new structure is going to do for GameStop, or the biggest hurdle that they're going to have to jump, is getting people off the couch and into the stores. Because with the digital age right now, I don't really need GameStop besides accessories if I don't want to have it mailed in through Amazon.
Right.
So
you could just totally sit at home and just get all the stuff ordered and sent right to you.
It has to be an experience. You have to go into the store. Hey, I'm going to GameStop because it's a great experience. I go in there. The dude's always friendly. He's always able to help me with whatever I need. They got this going on over here. And for me, it was always the pre-orders. So
Pre-order events used to be amazing. They used to be so much fun.
Yeah, like midnight releases and stuff.
Yeah, the midnight releases. For me, it was what they offered. So it was like, oh, on your receipt, here's your pre-order code for Kingdom of Amalur. When you pre-order it, you get the N7 armor in the game, like stuff like that. I was like, oh, cool. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like
anybody can get it.
It's not that. Yeah, so it's like they have to do more exclusive pre-orders. But then you have the other side of the coin where people like KC, they don't care about pre-orders.
And not even that I don't care about it. I feel like that's just bad business. Yeah, like if you exclusivize content to a specific location, then you're forcing people to go to that location, and then the competition's going to say, well, no, I'm going to get exclusive stuff, so you'll have this thing, and then you're just divvying up the game. So you never get the whole game.
They make exclusive stuff for whatever retailer that is. And so think about it like this.
That's difficult.
If pre-orders aren't there and they get 100 copies in, but 200 people go in to buy the game, somebody's not going to get it.
But that's not the case anymore.
No. A lot of times it still is. So sometimes I went to get something. I was like, I went to pick up Marvel Ultimate Alliance. You got any Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Yeah, we got 2 left.
Yeah, but you could have downloaded it, right?
Yeah. Yes, but I wanted the copy. I mean, for Switch games, I'm not going to put all my games on the Switch. That's too much. I get go ahead and get the cartridge. So I went and got the game.
Okay.
Now let's say I wasn't one of those 2 people. Guess what? I wouldn't have got the game. But if I pre-ordered it, I mean, it's $5 down. It goes towards the game. You pick up the game when it's ready, and you get something extra just for paying $5 in advance for a game. So a lot of people look at pre-orders as something else. To me, I look at, hey, you're holding that spot for me.
It's a reservation for you.
Yeah, so I can go and pick that game up when it's ready. $5 goes towards it. It's not, a fee to hold the game.
Yeah.
And it works. Same thing with consoles. New console comes out, you got to go put $100 down for an Xbox One, Scarlet. You know what I'm saying? So that $100 goes
that way you don't
game.
Have to wait up
exactly,
in the middle of the night.
And I don't have to be sitting in line and sleeping out overnight. It pre-orders the game. I mean, pre-orders the system same way. So I think there are good and pluses and minuses to the pre-order system. But that's always why I went to GameStop. But also to look around. There was now I go and look at T-shirts. I look at some of the statues that are in there. It's cool, but it is missing another level of, I guess, community.
Yeah, that's probably the word.
That's exactly what's going on. That's the biggest. That's the biggest problem
they have to establish their identity of who they're going to be in this new age, and I think that's what they're having trouble doing.
Well, they're working on it now. Like so, this layoff thing.
Put a ramen bar in there.
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have some kind of food, like basically become like a restaurant,
a barcade,
a video game centric gathering hub. Like that would make a lot of sense. That if that worked into their restructure, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah, I think food would definitely. If they had good food at GameStops, I'm going in. I'm going in for lunch.
And honestly,
on my lunch break, I'm gonna go eat some good food and play some video games and then go back to the grind. Like I think that's actually a really good idea.
One other thing is,
if you heard over a news store like, "Oh, GameStop has food now," I'm gonna be like, "Okay, I'm gonna go check that out."
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I gotta see what the hell they're doing.
If you think about a lot of these hobby shops, they have like Magic tournament, Friday Night Magic. They have, they sell Magic cards now. They sell Pokemon cards now. Host some of these things. You know what I mean? Like Friday Night Magic.
Yeah.
Partner with Wizards of the Coast. That's
like,
revenue right there.
Yeah, entry fees.
Events,
and if people have to pay to enter these tournaments, they maybe that's even like a membership. Like you pay like a monthly membership to be part of this thing. You don't have to pay for any tournament entries and stuff. You show up. Maybe you get like a free T-shirt every now and then. Like the subscription model is working for all of these online services: Netflix, Disney Plus, Game Pass. GameStop, get in on the action. Like exclusive service that signs you up to a community that you want to actually go and be a part of, I feel like would be cool.
Boom, I got it.
Subscription
service that lets you rent used games for a week at a time. Now, when you rent that game, you get a percentage off of that game if you decide to purchase it.
Talking about
GameFly?
Yep. My man, just some better GameFly.
That'll help go through some of their, but just do that with the used games. That'll help them go through some of their used.
I think
inventory, and
it's not terrible.
That's been their biggest problem, is sitting on all that used inventory that people trade in. We always think about, they don't give us much back, but guess what? They're probably not going to get anything for that game, depending on what the game is, unless it's something that's fairly new. Like, I don't know, if you trade in like Monster Hunter, and right now you'll probably sell it because a big DLC is coming out. People come in and grab it. I can get it for cheap, stuff like that. But depending on when you trade it in, you're not going to be able to sell that game. Like those controllers KC traded in, they're probably not going to sell those controllers for some time, especially with the Xbox One.
Yeah, new console on the horizon.
Yeah.
They probably sold it and it doesn't work for somebody else. Honestly. But kind of going back to the main thing, they laid off, and I did some fact checking. Earlier I said 20. It was 50 plus of these managers and some of these HR people and different things like that. That's heavy. That's a heavy blow to their employment pool. But at the same time, I think it shows how serious they are about restructuring. They're saying, I feel like they're kind of like, we don't want to be that retail person no more. We want to be that community hub person anymore.
They want to stay alive. Period. Like they're at this point, they were looking to sell the company off, I guess, and have somebody else maybe deal with what would happen. That didn't work. So rather than just saying, all right, we're going bankrupt, we're closing all the stores, they're at least trying something, and I do commend them for that. Yeah, I personally don't want to see GameStop, completely disappear. Like,
I really don't.
Because what else is there? I'm gonna go into a Walmart. I'm gonna go into a Target to get all my game stuff. Like,
that being said, are you going to support GameStop? Are you going to go in?
The thing is, I don't use much hardware anymore, but when I do, it's GameStop that I go to. Like,
exactly.
Like I said, with the control, I went to get all my new controllers from GameStop. Like, I didn't.
So now you have an option
offline.
Do you digitally download something, or do you go pick it up at GameStop?
I digitally download most of my games because that's just more convenient.
Yeah.
Honestly. Now you're part of the problem.
I'm not part of the problem. Like, I'm a consumer. Like, I'm gonna do what makes sense to me. Like,
if you're not part of the solution,
listen, it's not my fault that GameStop did not catch up with the times, but that doesn't mean I can't feel sorry for them because they failed to do that. Like, it's not my responsibility to keep an entire company afloat.
I feel like it is.
I'll feel sorry for them, but
well, agree to disagree.
I'm not gonna say it's their fault.
Like, I'm cheering for them. I want them to do better, but that doesning mean I'm going to donate $100 million to GameStop if I got it.
Exactly. Don't be an enabler.
And it starts with customer service. I think I told you guys on my birthday, I went to GameStop. I was going to get me a controller, and I'm sitting there. There's 2 employees there. One's ringing up. The other one's walking around. There's like 4 people in line. I don't know what this one guy in line was doing, but I don't know. He wound up being in line, never moved up for like 15 minutes. The second person was still just walking around. I'm like, I put it on the counter and left.
Right, because at that point you're just with the service, and that's a whole other thing.
What?
Yo,
like
I
4
think
people in line.
Retail...
You see this dude is taking a while. You should come. Hey, I need your help. Come on up and help me out. Knock it out real quick. Boom, and then get back to what you're doing.
We need to find out who trains Chick-fil-A employees, because that customer
can you
service
research that?
is phenomenal. I'm gonna find out their HR program, their training program, because they have the best customer service in general. Them and Quick Trip be anyway.
Are you hungry?
Yes, I am, but I wouldn't go to Quick Trip to eat.
No,
we would go to GameStop to eat.
Yes, we will. We'll
go to GameStop to eat.
But anyhow, we're going to move off of GameStop and move to GameStop being in the past. We're going to move to a service that's looking towards the future. Mixer, the streaming service, has secured exclusive streaming rights with the one and only Ninja, the most popular streamer on the internet, the #1 most popular Fortnite player.
Yeah.
Will now exclusively do all his streams on Mixer. No more Twitch. What does this mean for the gaming industry?
Go ahead.
I feel like there's going to be a big boom in popularity for Mixer.
Okay.
I feel like there's going to be a significant amount of people who is like, oh, Mixer's actually a viable option. Let me go check it out. And I don't know. Like, I don't like this Ninja guy. I respect I respect, what he's done. He puts in work, and he gets. I don't personally like him. There's a lot I could say about that, but I think that overall it's good for all Mixer streamers. And I feel like while you are going to get, those fanboys, there's a lot more attention to the platform that's better. Mixer is better than Twitch.
So you feel like Mixer is better than Twitch?
Yes. Easily.
If you don't know, we all stream primarily on
Mixer. We all
Mixer.
stream on Mixer.
So you're biased.
I wouldn't say biased because at first we had the choice of where we're gonna stream at, and we kind of picked.
I'm just joking. No, I agree. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. But also you gotta think about it like this. I think him coming over is a good thing for a certain I don't want to say demographic, I guess. I've never personally watched him stream Fortnite. I mean, that's pretty much what he streams.
Yeah.
But he's been really big at that. So that's great. Kudos to him. But also you got to think about it. Twitch already has other big name streamers who stream more than him and who might have just as many, followers as him. I think I read an article that was written, don't remember by who, but it was because I read it real quick. Pretty much that he isn't the top grossing, streamer on Twitch, nor does he have the most followers or streams the most hours. So I think more so publicly it does it.
Well,
it makes a statement as opposed to hurting their revenue or anything.
Well, it's not that he's like the most popular streamer in the world. It's that he's the most popular Fortnite streamer, right?
Yes. Well, no, not even Fortnite.
Not even in Fortnite. Okay.
No. Mm-mm. But I think more so the publicity that it puts out. Oh, Ninja's leaving here, so now you got to get everybody who plays Fortnite, who's a big Ninja fan, is going to go to Twitch. I mean, Mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes a statement more than it kind of does anything else, as opposed to them losing somebody viable. Not to say he wasn't viable to their,
yeah, he had to be
streaming community, but
because it's not even like he's splitting his time. He's basically he's going exclusively. So
exclusively,
it's like Twitch literally is losing any and all the viewers who spend time using Twitch to watch him to Mixer. So I feel like that's a significant number of people. Mixers have been promoting Ninja's stream the past couple of days since he just switched over. Yeah. Anytime I glance at it as I'm going on to Mixer, I mean I personally don't watch Ninja stream either, but I'll glance at he's like the first box in that window. Yeah, 700,000 people are watching this guy.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
I feel like what the intent was very similar to when the Verizon guys switched over to Sprint. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
It's the same kind of deal. Like, oh, he's going to Sprint. Let me see what Sprint has to do now. Like,
what's funny about it, I actually have inside knowledge because I used to work for Verizon.
Yeah.
Verizon fired that man. They were moving on. It wasn't because of anything he did, but they were just done with the ad campaign. They were doing other things, so they fired him. And then Sprint looked at the opportunity to hire him up and say, "Oh, look, he switched over." But that wasn't really what happened. So within Verizon, they're like, "Oh, that's messed up."
That man has zero loyalty. I mean,
I would do the same thing. I would do the exact same thing. Like, oh, they're done with me now. Bump it. These guys will pay me to say that I left.
I would have went back to Verizon and be like, "Yo, hey, look, check it. They trying to do this ad campaign against him. Just letting you know." All right,
but I think it's
pay me to not do it.
I think that's it's good for the streaming community in general. Yeah. It brings attention to Twitch. Any publicity is good publicity to Twitch and Mixer. So people say, oh, now there's some room for me in Twitch. I can go ahead and get a bunch of followers. Ninja left a big hole there, so now I can go ahead and get some of that up. But now Mixer, hey, now more people are going to gravitate to Mixer where they pretty much were generally, just on Twitch. So now I think it's great for the community, and I wish him all the success. I think they just recently had a Fortnite tournament, didn't they?
Yeah, was it the first World Championships of Fortnite? Because I think just last week, their top placed winner took home just over $3 million. And I saw a news story that said that was more prize money than the person who won the U.S. Open, like in tennis, as well as the Masters tournament in golf. So if you compared those three winners, the Fortnite kid, who's like, what, 16?
He's like
16 years old?
13. I think I saw that article too.
Yeah, that's pretty significant.
I mean, I'm glad there's money in
steadily
esports.
on the rise. Yeah, it's steadily on the rise. It doesn't show any signs of like slowing down. Most people think a lot of that stuff is kind of a fad, but it's maintaining its popularity and its strength. And the fact that Mixer has secured kind of the biggest name and the thing is, Ninja. I don't think Ninja was in that tournament. I don't remember hearing about him competing.
I don't
he
think
for sure
no.
didn't win. So it's not that Ninja is a sports competitor, like an esports competitor. He's just a personality. He's just a representative for streaming. So
yeah, I feel like he's more popular than any other streamer outside of the streaming community. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like if
I've seen him at like basketball games and stuff like that.
Like if you don't know about the streaming community, if you're not watching, if you're not paying attention, you might still know about Ninja.
Yeah, like he was on an ESPN cover.
He was at the Video Game Awards too.
Yes,
and he was. And wasn't he named
He's
like
very high profile
ESPN Athlete of the Year, something like that?
Yeah, he was on the cover. Yeah,
I'm still not happy about that, but.
But I mean,
it just shows that they're taking esports more seriously than they did, a couple years ago. Where it's not a sport. Well, it is now. So
like it's competitive. It has rule sets. It has competitors, and it has people willing to sit down and watch it. So in that vein, it's a sport.
And there are losers. So
like Jeff.
Thank you. Not after Smash.
Sorry, it was just in there
today. Not after Smash today, buddy.
Settle it in Smash, guys.
Don't worry about that.
Settle it on in the stadium.
Anyhow, that's gonna do it in terms of topics. We're gonna move now into our top 3 this week.
Hey,
we're gonna talk about our 3 most challenging games. I had mine written down somewhere, and I can't find where I wrote them. So somebody else go first, while I remember.
I want to do like a theme song for our like little segments. You know what I mean? Like it's the top 3 of the week. Da, 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 da. Like
that's more production stuff that we'll have to do.
Do you have your recorder with you?
It's funny. I just found my Tascam. It's somewhere around here.
If anybody watching wants to submit theme music, go right ahead. If you go through the trouble of making us some theme music for these different segments, we'll use
you can go to the website and everybody can contribute to the theme song, and we will pay you individually for your
He's talking about hit records.
Anyhow.
Ni hao.
All right, so Jeff or Blue?
So I'll go first. So
Go ahead.
One of my most challenging games was Dark Souls 1.
Okay, yep. It's really good.
I know. I found that more challenging than 2. It was more challenging than 2. I can't say 3. I think 3 they're probably on the same level, but 1 was definitely very, very challenging. From the gargoyles to those skeleton wheels.
Oh god, those things are annoying.
Yeah. Oh man. And then Gwen.
Oh yeah, the final boss.
Oh my god. That took me forever. 2 wasn't as bad. 2 I was able to kind of get through, but I think that's because I became accustomed to the combat. I got indoctrinated.
Yeah, so of course the first time you tried out what Dark Souls was, it was going to be the most difficult because you're kind of getting a rude awakening as to what that game expects from you. So yeah, it does tend to get a little bit easier, let's say, as you move through them.
Yes, it was definitely. Then probably I would have to say Double Dragons and Battletoads.
Battletoads is especially known for its difficulty.
Yeah.
Double Dragons and Battletoads was a very, very challenging game. They had this one level where you had to hop over. You're on a motorcycle. Well, they weren't really motorcycles, but they were motorcycles. You had to hop over these little gates and pendulum and still fight people. And I think I died on that like multiple. I don't think I ever beat that game or got close to it. That's how hard that game was.
Yeah, I think the second level was the furthest I ever got, but I played the one that was on Game Boy. They ported that game to Game Boy, so I didn't get a ton of time with it, but I never got past even the second stage of that.
Yeah, it was fun, but it was difficult. The bosses were ridiculous. I think I think every video I've ever seen of countdown of top most difficult games, that was one of them. That Lion King
shows up.
Yeah, that Lion King.
The thing about I keep hearing that Lion. I played that game so much as a kid. I beat it tons of times. I'm so mad you took
my one.
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
Oh, Lion King is on your list?
That's my number one.
Well, that's not. That's not one of.
Well, that's not one of his lists. He just mentioned it that it was. It was on there.
Oh, don't feel bad. Next would be Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Oh, I've never played that. Yeah, I've never played that game.
Oh yeah, it was a really good game. It was top down view. You played as a kid. Your weapon was a water gun. You had it was like a horror genre. It was actually like Stranger Things type feel. And you had zombies, you had werewolves, you had Jason-looking characters, you had a water gun, but you could pick up power-ups and stuff like that. And, I mean, you couldn't take any damage. So you got hit, you were dead. But you had to go through these mazes, save babies and stuff like that. And the art was really cool. Like, it was like all this supernatural stuff is going on. Yeah. So if you ever get a chance, just look up the video on it. It was a very cool game for the time. And like I said, it gave you that whole... I mean, this is way before Stranger Things, but it gives you that Stranger Things feel where it's like this, 80s, 90s type, environment.
But that actually was like the 80s, 90s, right?
It was. So it was I think it was the 90s, but I played it in the 90s. So, but it gave you that feel, and it was a pretty cool game. It was a difficult game, very difficult. I never beat that game. But it was another game where you couldn't save. You had to put in each level. You had to put the code in to bring you back to the level you were at.
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually tough.
Yeah. And those are my top 3 most challenging games.
Okay.
Did you want to go next, Blue, or?
Yeah, so I kind of spoiled my first one. So my number 1 is The Lion King on Super Nintendo.
Okay.
That game is extremely difficult.
The Super Nintendo one I heard was the easier version.
So. For no reason.
I've never played the Sega version, but that version looks terrible to me.
The Sega version wasn't bad. That Aladdin was fun. No, yeah.
Because I remember the commercials
on my list.
I remember the commercials for the Lion King game specifically, right? Because the Super Nintendo one, the Stampede section where it's like Simba's running towards the camera and you have to dodge left and right as the things are coming. On the Sega version, it was a side-scrolling level where it was like Buffalo just moving across the screen like static image. I'm like, yo, this looks dumb. Like that looks dumb on the Sega version. So in my head, comparing those two things was like, yo, the Sega version is trash. So I never actually played it.
Don't hate, son. Don't hate.
Super Nintendo version. First of all, for years, my brother and I believed that our game was messed up because we couldn't save.
Really?
And it turns out years, decades down the line. I'm not that old, okay? Just 1 decade and a half or something like that. I'm doing some research, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you couldn't save in that game." I was like, "It wasn't just us."
Yeah, you had continues. That was like most games of that era.
Yeah,
fam. No. The way that you would die in this game was super rough. Like you would spawn in, and if you're not in the right spot and you don't do the right jump, it's done. Lost life. Then you have to start back from level 1. It's not. You repeat that level until you're out.
It depends on your lives and continues. Because remember, you would have the bonus levels with Timon and Pumbaa where you would eat the bugs and you could get extra lives and stuff if you were good at them. So, I mean, I get it. Now that I'm thinking back on it, because people keep bringing it up, I'm like, was that game that hard? Because me and my little brother beat it all the time, like multiple times. We played that game every day. Like, you never beat it once.
What happened was, it was one of the games where they... if you hadn't played similar games like that, challenging games, it was hard for people to get used to that. You're not playing as this upright human or something like that. You're playing on all fours. And so it was hard for some people to actually,
they used to play super ambiguous.
They were. That's true. Used to that. Like when you had to fight you had to learn where you could jump on hyenas, because if you jumped on their backs, that wouldn't work. You had to jump right on the front of their head.
On the front of their head, not even the back of their head.
And that Scar fight was ridiculous. Oh,
yeah. Matter of fact, before you even got to Scar, you fight all those leopards. Maybe Blue doesn't know because he never got that far.
No, it's fine. It's a little bit late for me to call spoilers, but at the same time, I've watched YouTube videos just to see what the end looked like.
Right.
And it looked cool. It looked fun. But I mean, they were stressed out too playing. And I was like,
I'm just gonna
dang.
tell you something you should probably already know.
Okay. Yeah.
Seeing the ending and living it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Most definitely.
You got deprived of that.
I have a lot
and
less
I
gray
feel for
hair
you because of that.
not living it.
I
I have a lot. You see these luscious locks right here? That's because I watch videos of very difficult games and not play them. Anyway.
So that was your number one, right?
That was my number one. My number two was Aladdin. Same platform.
The SNES one or the?
And it's basically the same complaints. Hitboxes are ambiguous.
Beat that game a ton of times.
Yeah.
Like it was those two games. Those are like my favorite Disney movies. So my parents saw those in the store and got us Aladdin and Lion King. Yeah, it was a done deal, and we played the crap out of those games. Like I know those games inside and out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe you don't know this one. Inside it. No. Actually, knowing you probably do. I don't know about Jeff. Original Xbox. Ninja Gaiden.
Of course.
Yeah.
I beat that.
Damn, that game is difficult. I couldn't beat it.
I beat it when you had to fight the skeleton dragon.
Fam. I remember that too. That whole game was tough, and I was like, okay, maybe the difficulties turned up. No, that was on super basic.
I beat 1. I beat 2. I did not like 3. 3 was way too easy.
Yeah, 3 wasn't.
3 sounds right up my lane.
The thing is, I got towards the end of the first Ninja Gaiden, right? And my save was basically messed up because
man,
you know that part, and this was probably the hardest, most annoying section of that game. The ghost fish. You're like going up that tower, and like those heat-seeking ghost fish would just destroy your health.
Yeah.
In order to get up that tower, I used all health things that I had on me, but the top of that tower was a gauntlet of boss fights. Like almost all the bosses you fought up until that point are what awaits you at the top of the hardest section to get to in that game. So I had a sliver of health and nothing to heal myself with, and that's how I had to go into that gauntlet. So I tried a bunch of times and could never reach the end. I'm like, there's nothing I can do other than start the game over from the beginning and forget that noise.
I'm gonna say my brother and I mastered the very first boss. You know what I mean? That was like, we had that down pat because we had played it so many damn times. I got just about to that gauntlet that you were talking about. I remember going up the tower. I remember the ghost fish. I just, like, everything was a hassle in that game for me. And I was younger. I might be able to do it now, but I don't think I can do it easily. I don't know if I'd enjoy it.
It was a difficult game. That demon boss you had to fight outside the church?
Mm-hmm.
The red one? Yeah, that was the first difficult one for me. But, like, to me, everyone else kind of, couldn't compare to her. Even that bone dragon was pretty easy with the when I got the nunchucks. Oh man!
I think the most difficult boss in that game to me was like that demon lady with the wings.
Yeah. What, the red one, right?
That's the one he's talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the big, like the first boss, that big.
Oh no!
Creature thing.
The demon lady with the red one. She looks like some type of like Power Ranger villain. Yeah.
Yeah. She was crazy tough, and I think she shows up again, like after you get to the top of that tower, but not first. Gosh. Like you fight that first boss that you reach, and then you fight her, and then I think you fight something else. I managed to get past with my sliver of health that original boss, and then when she showed up, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like you can't get past that. I couldn't heal, so I never finished that game. But that was your third one, Blue.
That was a good one.
That was my last one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I agree with your third one, not the first two.
Yeah, I understand that.
First two I don't know about. But I mean, the people say they're hard, but
yeah, those games kicked my butt.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden was a difficult game.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go into my 3. My first one.
What you got, Sigma?
Most people probably don't even really remember this game.
Cameo.
I've never even played Cameo. I don't know why you're obsessed with Cameo. But the original Lost Planet. Do you guys remember that game?
Yeah, I do. With the heat mechanic where you had to stay warm and
it was
stuff
like you're
that.
on the frozen planet and you're constantly always just losing temperature. You have to find all these things. Yeah, body heat and whatnot. That game at first doesn't seem that difficult. It's just annoying with the mechanic where you're constantly losing health. But when you get to like the end areas, there were some crazy difficult bosses, and you still have to contend with the heat mechanic. I remember fighting this one thing. It was like a screen-filling boss in like this corridor. It would like run through the room, and you had to use the grappling hook thing that you had. Remember that? To like get above that location so that it didn't hit you and kill you. And it took me so long to finally actually kill the thing, only for my heat thing to run out. And then me still have to do the fight over.
Oh, wow.
What?
So
Yo.
that took me so long to actually beat. And like it sticks in my head to this day. Like, I don't really remember much else about the Lost Planet series. Well, no, they actually did do sequels. With the second one, they tried to make it a multiplayer thing, and the third one was like a whole different kind of game. But the first one, I did actually enjoy. It was just super tough.
I remember actually reading about that game in it was Game Informer.
Game Informer, yeah. Game Informer had a real big cover story on it.
Yeah.
I remember reading that too.
It looked wild.
Like the smoke effects and the snow effects were like top notch of the day.
At the time, super
impressive. And that game had a multiplayer mode too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Remember we played it?
Yeah,
was it
we used
co-op?
to play it. I don't
we
think
used
the
to play
game.
it.
The game was
It
co-op.
was player versus player.
Yeah, it was like a deathmatch type thing. It was fun.
Gotcha.
But my second game is more recent, Bloodborne on the PS3.
Yo, that was definitely on my list.
I'm sorry, PS4.
PS4, yeah. Well, it's on both. I think it was on both.
No.
Yeah, I think it was on PS3, wasn't it? Yeah.
Bloodborne
I'll
was on
double check.
PS3.
Go ahead.
No, it's not. That's a game from this generation.
Yes, sir.
Early PS4.
He's right.
Oh no,
So-
yeah.
So, Bloodborne, about as difficult as any of the other Souls games. But the thing that made it a little bit more challenging is that they stopped letting you turtle up. Like you couldn't get a bunch of armor, you couldn't use a shield for the most part. You had to be aggressive. Like you had to dive in, you had to dodge towards enemies to actually get through their attacks and counter them. And the secret ending where you actually fight the guy who's helping you for most of the game, the first hunter, Gearmon, I think his name is, or something like that, is crazy freaking hard. Like he is so unforgiving. I did that fight so many times. I recorded the entirety of me actually winning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I threw that on YouTube, on personal YouTube. So that's on there if anybody wants to check
I
it
need to
out.
find that.
I'm gonna go check it out. Did you fight the Moon Spirit?
Yes, because that's who you fight after you kill him if you get that ending, and that was much easier than him.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So he's the second to last boss, and God, that was a freaking difficult fight. Like that, the sense of rewardingness. I don't know what you even call it.
Accomplishment.
Yeah, the sense of accomplishment. That's a much better word. The sense of accomplishment I got after beating that fight is most of the reason why, even to this day, like I still just go for like the hard games because I'm like, that felt so good to finally beat that dude.
I believe it. Challenging games shouldn't always be a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like challenging, sometimes it's the best part about the game.
Right. Like I enjoy overcoming those challenges. And speaking of which, my third game I played super recently is Celeste. Like you guys actually watched a lot of that. Like
I thought Hollow Knight
super
was going to
hard.
be on your list.
Hollow Knight is very difficult, but it wasn't as difficult as some
Especially
of these
that
experiences.
last-
But Celeste, my God, the platforming in that game. I just played Horus, which is super difficult as well. But Celeste still kind of takes the cake in terms of just like the crazy, and like the way that game built in its difficulty is like, oh, there's a pathway to get through this, but if you want this strawberry in the corner, you're gonna have to really prove that you're about this life. So it's like it's putting the impetus on you. They're not saying you have to do this. They're saying we challenge you to do this.
Yeah. And you want the strawberries when you see them, because I started playing it too after I saw you go through it. When you see them, you're like, it's just right there, though.
You're like, I can do that,
and
right?
I know I'm not coming back.
So like, I really appreciated how they put the impetus on you to say like, are you about this life? And then a lot of times, no, you're not. In some cases, but for the most part, I feel like I got a majority of the really tricky ones, and the ones that I thought were doable at the time, I was able to go and do.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that sense of accomplishment that you get from facing those challenges and coming out the other end, there's really not much like it, you know. So those are my top 3.
I got an honorable mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
Honorable mention is what was it? The latest Mario Kart 8 on 200 cc's, going through a Grand Prix. 200 cc's or the 200 cc mirrors. Yo, the NPCs do not play.
That's where that Luigi Death Stare comes in.
All over the place.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure.
That's how I feel. Because when I play Mario Kart, I try and get the 3 stars. You know,
right.
It's 3 stars. So whenever I get 2, I'm just like, let me get all 3 on every level, on every difficulty.
Go for
man, I'm struggling still. Do the 200 cc's.
Getting them struggle. Oh, honorable mention, probably shout out to Neo.
I still haven't actually started that.
Shout out to Horizon Zero Dawn.
What?
Oh, really? That
was difficult. That was challenging for you?
Difficult?
Wait, did you play it on normal?
Of course.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? What, did you start?
On hard.
You started it on hard?
I started on hard.
Why?
Like with those goddamn T-Rex
oh no.
machines. The T-Rex robots. Oh, those were ridiculous. Well, because I was playing on normal and it just seemed to go a little bit too easy. So I was like, let me just amp it up a little bit. Okay. So those are my 2 honorable mentions.
My honorable mention is probably going to be Halo's heroic modes.
Oh.
Especially Halo 2. I played through the entirety of that with a college roommate, and that's going to stick in my mind probably for the rest of my life because Halo gets real.
Yeah.
When you play it on... matter of fact, I said heroic, right? Not heroic. What is it called?
I thought it was called... Oh, no, heroic is the second.
Yeah, heroic is the second one.
Legendary?
Legendary.
Yeah.
I think it's Legendary, yeah. Beat all of Halo 2 on Legendary. That is a challenge. Those are our top 3 most challenging games, plus some honorable mentions. I want to thank my co-host once again for joining me for episode 11 of the BBET GamesCast.
You're welcome.
Jeff, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Superman Jeff Plays, as well as on Mixer at Superman Jeff 12. Also, you're on the YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Also, hit the bell so that you get notified when we release new content. We pop a bunch of stuff on there, just like the podcast. We pop up some gameplay. Some of our streams go up on there. So definitely hit that follow button, and we greatly appreciate it. It helps show your support and helps us grow as a channel.
Yes, absolutely. Blue,
most definitely.
Where can people find you?
You already know it's your boy Blue Bones, BLUB0NES. Facebook, Play with Blue Bones. Mixer, Blue Bones, BLUB0NES, XB as in Xbox. Definitely come to our YouTube channel, because if you're just listening to the podcast, you can't see me do this.
Whatever that was.
Exactly. You see? So just by listening to it, you're not going to see it and know how ridiculous that was. So yeah, come to our YouTube channel, BBETGaming.
Yep.
And see all the Jeff's expressions.
Yeah.
They're amazing. Look at that. Ooh, with the eyebrow.
I don't know if I like that. I'm not sure.
You like it. You loved it. You loved it.
Sigma, where can they find you, bro?
You guys can find me on all social media at Sigma Gears 9, SIGMA GEARS 9. You can find me on Facebook at Sigma and Son, as well as on YouTube at BBET Gaming. You can find the reviews I've been doing for Escapist Magazine on the Escapist YouTube channel, so youtube.com/escapist. And also head to their website, escapistmagazine.com, because a lot of my reviews also become features on the site. So let's get those clicks. Know what I mean? So I really appreciate all you guys for listening. Do hit the subscribe button like Jeff said. Join us next week as we continue to talk about video games and such. That's going to do it for episode 11. Peace.
Adios.
Concentrate on a nigga while I'm out here trying to get him and forget it. Shaking my head, these niggas that don't speak. Trying to get bread, your niggas in DC. At least I'm woke, nigga, I'm a beast, at least I know. Whoa. Trying to get rid of me, but I am the epitome of acidity. Like a spatter, nigga, every city beat.